So the big question is this: how do you lose all the weight that you want and actually keep it off for the rest of your life, while trying to make sense of all the noise that comes from the weight loss industry? That is the question. And this podcast will give you the answers.
G'day guys, and welcome to the next episode of the Weight Loss Secrets podcast. My name is Baron Grant and I'm wrapped to be with you for another day, another tip, another idea, something that's going to be able to help you make changes in your life to lose all the weight you want and keep it off for good. Now, I haven't put out a video for a little while or a podcast because life has been nuts. Frankly, our business has been really busy, and with our 5 kids and stuff happening, it's just been nuts. And so I put it on the back burner for a couple of weeks, but I'm back in town. And so we're doing a few more of these videos, and it's off the back of a number of messages I received saying, hey, when's the next episode coming out? I haven't heard one for a while, which I was really surprised about, if I'm really honest. I sort of went, oh, people are actually listening. That's cool. So today I actually want to talk about kind of getting back on the wagon like I have to after not doing podcasts for the better part of 2 weeks. And sometimes this stuff happens in life, right? So we get caught up, life happens, life is busy. I mean, just to give you an example right now, I've just finished on my last call with a client, and actually I've got one more to go, but just finished on the call, and then we went out and did something fun as a family for about 2 minutes out the back, popping some balloons. And then I came upstairs and I'm like, I've got to get this done before we have dinner. And then Davina was out there with the blower trying to blow off this confetti from the party that we had on the weekend of the balloons that we just popped. And so this blower was going, and then I said, hey Dee, is that one nearly done so I can record this? And then the dog's barking. So that's my life, right? So it's kind of nuts all the time. And but I still want to keep pumping out these podcasts, so here we go. But I want you to think about my experience that I just had now, and I would imagine it's not too dissimilar to your experiences that you have every day. I'm not unique in that sense. I mean, I have a busy family life with a number of kids, but I'm sure that you have a busy family life as well, and sometimes things get put on the back burner. Sometimes things get a bit challenging to work through, and real life happens, right? So we get caught up in things, and this happens all the time when it comes to weight loss as well, is that sometimes it gets put on the back burner. And you know what? That's okay sometimes. None of us are perfect. Everyone's trying the best they can to do the best they can to get to where they want to be. And sometimes life just gets in the way. So my message today is a short one, but an important one. And that is, we have to be able to get back on the wagon. Once we get off the wagon of losing weight, it can be really hard to get back on because we get stuck. We're like, oh man, you get in a rhythm of not doing the things that are a bit harder than what they normally are. When you're losing weight, you've got to be more diligent, you've got to be more prepared, you've got to be more organized. And so when you fall off that wagon, sometimes it might drag out a little bit before we can get back on that wagon. So I want you to think about your weight loss journey right now, and have you dropped off the wagon a bit? And do you need to pull your socks up and jump back on the wagon? I got a great call from a friend of mine just the other day. It was pouring rain outside, and he called me up and he said, Baron, just wanted to let you know that I'm back on track. I'm eating the right foods and we are walking in the rain right now. Right now we're walking in the rain. It made me super happy because I was like, heck yeah. He also mentioned that there is not a good time to start. There's never a good time to start. And you know what? Going for a walk right now in the rain, Baron, is not the best time to start, but I'm back on. Now, this is someone who's lost some weight, put it back on, and he's back losing the weight again. We have to be in control of our own destiny, and sometimes we get a bit out of control. But the most important message that I want to share today is that just because you stuff up, just because something might go bad, just because you might have fallen off the wagon with whatever weight loss journey you're on, that's not the end. We just got to get back on. Now, sometimes we have to find the motivation to get back on. We have to remember why we're doing this in the first place, because that reason drives our behavior to be able to keep going. We have to keep remembering that all the way through that process, so that if we do happen to fall off, if we do happen to eat a big pizza on the weekend, if we do drop off whatever process we're trying to work through to lose weight for a day, a week, a month, a year, 2 years, 10 years, and we decide to go back on, we can know that we're going to win again if we have the right focus at the start, if we know where we want to go, if the reason why is strong, we'll end up getting there. And I think it's really important to highlight when I'm talking about getting back on the wagon. I think it's really important to highlight that you are never actually ever going to arrive at your destination. Now, because your destination of health and fitness is, there's actually no point. We like to act like there is, like a certain weight or a certain thing. You know, I've arrived because my clothes fit better, or I've hit this number on the scales. We've never actually arrived. We can celebrate that point for a second, but if we keep eating the wrong foods, it'll come back on again. And so this is this journey of this up and down that people find all the time. So I want you to have the mentality of, I've never actually arrived. Because if we arrive, sometimes we then completely relax and we go, I'm all good, I can do whatever I want now, I've arrived. That weight will come back on just as fast as it went off when you lost it. It'll come probably faster, it'll come back on. So we have to get the mentality of, no, health and fitness and movement has to be a part of my life every day for the rest of my life. That's the model, that's the ideal. Does it actually ever happen that way? Probably not. And 2 or 3 days a week, or you might go really well for a couple of weeks and then you might have 2 or 3 days that are no good. But the key is getting back on the wagon. And you've got to enjoy the journey, because the journey is always going to be there. Because remember, we're never going to actually arrive and stay in that particular spot once we get there. So we have to enjoy the journey. So it's important that we get our head around this to go, I enjoy it. This is good. I love it. I want to get up early in the morning, go for a walk. I want to train. I want to eat good food. That needs to be the mentality in our minds. At some point, it has to get to that, because otherwise we won't enjoy the journey and then we won't get back on the wagon because we think it's hard and it's not very fun. So my message today is, just like me, who fell off the wagon with the podcast, just life got overwhelming for me a little bit. We need to move house and we've got other stuff going on. And so sometimes life gets overwhelming. That's okay. And that's all right. Then we just we might fall off a bit, jump back on and go again. The most important thing is that you jump back on and you go again. So if you've fallen off, get back on the wagon. You can absolutely do it. You can get to where you want to be. I promise you it is easier to stay there once you're there, but you've got to do a bit of the hard work to get there in the first place. So just wanted to put one out today, let you know that I'm thinking of you all, and if you're struggling, if you're falling off, get back on. You got this. We'll talk soon.